Hey, I'm Travis.
And I'm Adele.
And we are The Noble Marriage. We hope that through our channel, you will be inspired and motivated so that your marriage will be all that God created it to be. Hey, welcome back to Coffee and Conversations. It's been a while since we had one of these talks, and I'm excited about this one. This one's a little bit different.
Yeah, so grab a seat and prepare to laugh a little bit because we are going to share what happened to us on video in the middle of making a forgiveness video. So if you follow us on Instagram, you've already heard about this because we've been talking about it live every morning. And we shared that we were in the process of making a forgiveness video when an argument broke out. So
Wait a minute, we're not perfect?
Yeah, we argued. Did you know that? Yeah, our marriage isn't far from perfect. We still argue, but what I think you'll get a lot out of is how we went about disagreeing with each other. And I think you'll find it quite humorous to see another married couple in the middle of an argument, right?
Should we show some of the argument in this too? I think you would be interested in seeing like that argument because we caught it on camera.
Yeah, we just got finished watching it and it was very eye-opening to watch myself in that state because I know how it feels and I know what it looks like from this angle. But from an outside angle, I was like, oh, Adele, come on.
So we were making a forgiveness video, and the way we lay those out is we have a sheet of paper or a computer in front of us, and we're kind of reading some basic thoughts about how we're going to talk about the video. And this particular one, I kept getting hung up on the words, and it happens to be often because I want to get things right. I want to, as you could say, I want to make it perfect. And in that, I get tripped up in my words a lot. Get tripped up and I need to make this right, and I need to do great with it. And so I got tripped up in the words and I kept repeating the same line over and over. And I would get about halfway through and I'm like, I don't like the way I said that. Or get halfway through and like, oh, I forgot a word. And I kept doing that, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And now let's talk about
some practical ways.
Okay, I get that. Now, so we talked about what forgiveness is not. Is not? Is. All right, I'm ready. So we talked about what forgiveness is not. We talked about what forgiveness is. We talked about why it's important. Now, let's talk about, that's when I just felt triggered through something you said.
So I was helping him with his lines and I was trying my best to rephrase what was written so that he could hear it different. And so the way I went about it was
some practical ways.
Like, I'm meaning it in a humorous way. Like, are you still not getting this? Because that happens to us a lot. And most of the time we can laugh it off and just be like, blah, that's why we have so many bloopers.
But not when I'm taking
not when
I'm taking myself too seriously. I cannot laugh it off because what you don't see is that in my need to make it perfect, I have already worked myself up 4 times saying the same thing. And I'm like, why can't I get this right? And I'm internally battling myself and externally still trying to have a great demeanor and speak effectively on camera. And that's not coming across, but internally there is a battle that's going on. And so you saying something that you slowed down your speech and I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at the camera. I heard judgment and I heard it coming from like, I don't know if you've been in the situation where somebody said something to you and was being a smart aleck and kind of stretched out their word. Yeah, that's the way it occurred to me. Not that you're saying it that way, because going back, I looked at the film and you can see she has a smile on her face and she's kind of like trying to help me and make it more entertaining or make me laugh about it. And that's not happening. I hear judgment whenever you do that. Just letting you know that. I am already beating myself up enough and I feel like you're impatient with me not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I get that. I'm already feeling it.
It was like I took gasoline and I poured it on the fire. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. Because he reacted to me and I was just like, what just happened? And it triggered me.
Yeah, I told her it's not being helpful. It was not helpful for me, for you to say that. And then now I'm all in my head and now I feel like, oh, I'm going to mess up everything I'm going to say from here on. And you're judging me and that's what's going on for me.
And I'm sitting there like, I was far from judging you, but if that's how you're going to take it, okay.
And that's how you think I'm being. I'm not.
Okay. It just occurred that way because of the tone and the way you slowed down your voice and how you said it.
I was like being humorous.
Okay.
And I'm trying to move on and still be on camera. I was just, gonna take that part out. And I'm talking and I'm getting more in my head about, I can't believe he sees me that way. I can't believe he thinks I'm judging him. I am not judging. And the more I turned up the volume in my head, the more the words that were coming out of my mouth were stumbling bad. And finally I was like, I can't even do this. I'm so triggered right now. Get to forgiveness prior to resentment coming. Ugh, I don't know. I'm triggered and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not even present because of how you take me.
Okay.
And then I went into victim mode. And you can physically see it on my demeanor.
Oh.
I'm like sitting there and I have this pouty face on, and it describes exactly how I was feeling. I was feeling so misunderstood by you, and my heart was just in a different place. So when you saw me that way, it was just like, oh, ouch. And I'm like thinking about him, like, my gosh, like I was just joking around, and wow, he like snapped at me. And there were a couple things you said that triggered me more because there was some sarcasm in there, like just slight amounts.
I was sharing how the comment wasn't helpful for me and why it wasn't helpful. But you don't think that's important? You want me to apologize for that?
Well, you just kind of left it there as though that's what you believe about me.
I was sharing why it wasn't helpful.
Yeah, you said you feel like I'm judging you.
Yeah, but isn't that something we do when we teach is labeling and calling it out, and you've asked me to bring that up, but you don't want me to.
I don't have a problem with you doing that, but you just left me there in that state as though I'm judging you, and I'm not.
Okay.
And so I feel misunderstood, and I feel like I was misrepresented because that's not my heart.
And it was getting me further and further in, and you were looking for me to say I'm sorry for saying that. But I knew where my heart was. And so I was looking for, I want you to actually see me for who I am.
Yeah.
I can see how you would feel misunderstood by me saying that. But do you want me to apologize for saying it?
No, but I'm still stuck in the being misunderstood.
Mm-hmm. And I made you feel that way?
Well, maybe you could share how you do see me.
Well, I explained it. Whenever you said that, I felt I'm already having a hard time. It's like the 4th time I'd said that particular sentence. I'm already beating myself up. I'm already trying to correct myself. And then you share in a way that is, to the way I hear it, is not productive for me. Like I don't need it. I'll see the words up there. You've already told me 3 or 4 times what it is you want me to say. So it's not like I need extra coaching. And then you share it in a way that's slowly spoken out, like it occurs, like you're frustrated that I'm not getting it. And it's not helpful when I'm already trying to internally battle it. And so that's when I brought it up. And I've never brought it up before, but I've experienced it before. So I guess I'm left stuck because it sounds like your thorn was triggered and you're blaming me for your thorn. Like I need to do something different.
Well, I just feel like I wasn't heard, and I
And
felt
neither was I.
misunderstood, and like you take me as I'm always judging you.
Yeah, and I don't feel hurt either. I shared what I shared, and you're like, no, I'm not judging you.
Said, and I'm curious for you, do you resonate with what we're talking about? Like how we're going back and forth, and I misunderstand what she's saying and I get triggered, and you have the best intentions, but because of my issues and my vortex, you get triggered, and now you have your own thing going on that's bumping up against mine. And do you experience that too?
We call it the vicious vortex of death. And we teach it in our marriage transformation course, or we walk couples through how to interrupt this cycle. And we literally caught it on video. We were interrupting our cycle and coming to each other's side to see, well, where is your heart at? And where is your heart at? And then when we can see each other's perspective, we're able to interrupt that vortex. And I'll just say, it takes some work.
It does.
And
I've spent 40 something years developing mine, so it takes work to not do it.
yeah, and there is, pride gets involved because there is what's the word I'm looking for?
Mine is a self-righteousness. My spirit of pride creates a self-righteousness.
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to?
I'm looking for how when my pride is getting involved, it takes so much effort to try to see his side of things.
Yeah.
And it makes it even harder when I'm offended, which is what happened. I felt offended that he sees me that way. And that's just not who I want to be seen as. And so
I appreciate your heart for me, and that you want this video to go good, and that you want it to be effective, and that you want me to say the things I should say and do the things I should do. And I imagine you're just trying to give input to be helpful.
Yes.
And I imagine that it comes across hurtful whenever I hear you as judgment.
Yes, it does.
And I get that. And that's not what I want to hear you as, and I apologize that I didn't clear that up after I said that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry that you heard me as judgment. It's not my heart, and that's not what I'm trying to do. So I'm sorry that I impacted you that way.
Thank you. What is going on for you whenever you're trying to give me feedback and you're changing your tone and you're slowing it down and you're stretching out your words long speaking to me? What is it that's actually going on?
I'm thinking maybe if I say it different, you'll hear it different. So I'm trying to help you by actually you hearing it rather than reading it.
I can see where you're coming from.
I've tried a bunch of different things and I don't know how to help. So I keep
What if
trying.
I'm not looking for help?
Okay.
Because internally, I've got a lot going on for me that I am trying to fix and correct myself. And so I have an internal dialogue going on that you are interrupting by your fixing and correcting. Does that make sense? So I hear your heart in that you want to help me. You see I'm struggling and you want to help. And so you try to offer help and I see it as judgment. So what do we do now?
And so when you were like at the end, now what do we do? Because I'm still in this space of we've seen each other's side and we've apologized and we've both accepted that. But when that fight or flight feeling comes over you, it's super hard to snap out of it, like very hard. And we've been doing this for a while. So give yourself some grace that when you've had an argument, sometimes you need a little space apart to just clear your mind, clear your body from all those fight or flight stress hormones so that you can come back and reconnect. But the importance is coming back to reconnect. We have just learned that we can reconnect right afterwards, but it takes a whole lot of effort. So you asked me, what do you need? And I'm like, I don't even know. I have no idea what I need right now. And you said, how about a hug? And I was like, yes, let's hug. And even in the middle of the hug, I was feeling like, I don't want to be hugging you right now. And he starts praying and I'm like softening my heart at the same time. And it's starting.
You want to stand up and give a hug?
Yes.
Are you on my team?
Try to be.
I'm on your team. I'm on Team Adele.
And then we were able to sit back down and finish the video. It was so wild to experience.
And I did not want to pray either. I wanted to stay stuck in mine too. I'm sure you may have experienced that way. You get triggered, you get upset, maybe your spouse apologizes and And then everything should be fine, but there's this desire to be like, I want to stay angry. I want to stay upset. I want to stay in this nastiness even longer. And that just makes no sense. As I talk about it out loud right now to you, it makes no sense to me. And I get a reward for that. Whenever I get into my self-righteousness and whenever I get into that same thing you're talking about, I don't want to hug. I don't want to pray. I don't want to do any of that. That self-righteousness ends up taking me out all the time.
Yeah.
There are times where I would rather be right than loving. And whenever I get that way, I get a payoff. And usually that payoff is I get to be right. See, I showed you. You were wrong and I was right. And I'm going to stay in this. And that's a payoff. It's nasty. It doesn't feel good. But there's a reward to it.
Yeah. It's so crazy that that happens. And I've dealt with that my whole life of why do I want to stay stuck right now? I just want to be mad. And it's so not productive. It makes it worse and it makes it harder to move on when I stay stuck. And so we've just learned that if we push through that, we can get to the other side and feel more connected. But what was funny about this particular day is we had Haven's godmother was staying with us. Marianne, if you're watching, hello. And she walks down like right at the end of our argument and we're both sitting there like, and she's like, I'll come back later. And even after we finished the video, we were getting over it. There was still these feelings of, oh, I don't like that happened. And it was funny. She got to witness the whole thing and just the ridiculous of how we were being.
Yeah, and she helped walk us through some great things to help us next time, which was awesome too, being able to share with her what we went through. It's always great to be able to label and share things that you're going through to get them out of your head because it builds up so much volume in our head.
Yeah. So the key takeaway from today's video is really look to see your spouse's heart. When you can really see the motive behind the reaction or the behavior, you can understand why they do what they do, why they say what they say. And I can have empathy for that. And when I'm having empathy for you, there's always connection waiting to happen after that argument. And so practice giving your spouse empathy and grace and just really try to see their heart.
Thanks for joining us today. And if you got value out of what we said, if you learned something new, maybe you learned something into your own argument, give us a thumbs up or a comment letting us know what it is that you found value in.
And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to our channel so that you can improve your marriage and be inspired every single week when we release a new video all about marriage.
Did you know that 70% of the people that watch this video is not even subscribed to our channel?
No.
Come
What's
on.
up with that?
We want you to join us. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, check this out. Here's what's coming up next week.
Is how our thoughts impact our life in it. Because we all have a brain that has to make a meaning out of literally everything that happens to me.
And that means my thoughts need to make the situation safe around me. See you next week. Bye.
Like how great it is that we can use our arguments as YouTube content.
Enjoy the argument, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. No, that's peace. Peace out. Bye as a wave. Let's do that different. Ready?
Okay, ready?
Bye. Okay.
That's a wrap. I was trying to get a high five.